Hey guys, welcome to Peyton Energetics. I'm Peyton, and in today's video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about grounding for starseeds. So, on my website, I have just released a new grounding meditation for starseeds and light workers. So, in today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about why grounding is so important right now and why I'm releasing this new meditation. Because as y'all know, if you have been on your spiritual path for a while, we know that grounding is absolutely essential. It is what recalibrates our physical body, helps us stay in contact with the planet with a frequency that is very nurturing to us as humans. And it keeps us from starting to match our bodies energetically to our technology. So, grounding is, according to the Pleiadians, one of the two most important things we can be doing right now to move through the ascension process more easily. So, the reason that I wanted to talk about this very fundamental, basic technique is because the way we are grounding as light workers and starseeds is changing. So, if you have been trained in your spiritual practice, if you've had any formal training, or if you have listened to teachers online, watched videos, you've probably been taught what I like to think of as the gold standard of grounding techniques. So most of us throughout our spiritual education have been taught to ground to the planet. And there's a very solid reason for that. And that is that our bodies are calibrated to the resonance of the planet. So as we connect with the planet, as we get out in nature, as we do meditations to connect with the planet, we start to bring our bodies vibrationally back in harmony with Earth. So that is why the guides have always taught us how important it is to ground our energy. I'm sure y'all's teachers have taught you the same thing. It's a very important practice for a reason. And the way that most of us have been taught to ground our energy by doing usually a simple meditation, although there are countless ways to ground your energy, is to connect ourselves to the core of the planet, or to the just deep into the earth. That's kind of the gold standard for grounding. It's what we've all been taught. But something the Pleiadians have been talking a lot about lately is that this technique is not working for us as well as it once did. And this is something that I noticed as I was going through my formal intuitive training several years ago, where I was taught the gold standard technique. And I noticed that no matter how often I did it, how reliably, how diligently I was about my grounding process, I was still never grounded. It just didn't work. And I remember it being so funny because my teachers would look at me when I said, I don't think this is working. I don't feel anything. And they would look at me and they're like, yep, it's not working. And no one really had an alternative for me or a suggestion, because no matter what I did, it wasn't grounding me properly, even though it might work for 99.9% of other people out there. So the guides have been talking a little bit about this phenomenon lately, because something that I am seeing with many of my Starseed students is that the old techniques are just not working for them. So I work with a lot of people who have been on their spiritual path for quite a while. Some of them have been at this for decades. And they're just noticing that no matter what they do, they don't feel grounded. So I asked the guides to talk a little bit about this. Why are our standard go-to techniques not really working? I'm noticing this in two categories of my students. The first is what I call the starseeds. So starseeds are people who carry a lot more galactic energy than the average person. So starseeds, I am noticing almost overwhelmingly, are not resonating with, it's not working for them to use the old gold standard technique for grounding, of grounding into the earth. It's just not working for them. Whenever they do this, my clients are telling me it feels gross, it feels bad to their physical body, it feels dense and heavy, as opposed to, we like our earth grounding practices to feel stabilizing. That's one of the great things about grounding into earth, why it's a classic for a reason, is because it makes us feel stable and secure. But that's not the feedback that I've noticed that I'm getting from my Starseed clients. it actually feels bad to them. So that is always something that makes me go back to the guides and ask, what is going on and what is the solution here? Because we don't want to keep doing something just because we've always done it that way. So I asked the guides recently and confirmed it with them in the session I did with Allison Co. And so if y'all have seen that session on her website, the guides talked about this and what is going on to help us understand how we may need to rethink our grounding practices. So what the guides have said is for certain people, especially this may apply to people who are either starseeds, or the second category of student that I am seeing this in is people who have been on their spiritual path for a while. And these are the people that I'm talking about that are really, really on it when it comes to their spiritual practice. The clients that I have who are really conscientious in their practice, they're doing their tools every single day. They are really on their game. I'm finding that they are tending to report the same thing as many of my Starseed clients. So when I ask the guides, what do we do about this? A lot of Starseeds, it's not just me. For a long time, I seem to be the only one that it didn't work for. But now I'm seeing this across the board. So what the guides had to say was that the tools that many of us have been taught for many, many years now, and some of these tools have been around for decades, so they're classics for a reason. The guides have been saying that many of our tools were based on things that worked in third dimensional energies. But as the guides say, y'all are not in third dimension anymore. We officially left 3D on the winter solstice of 2012. We moved into the fourth dimension, or if you like the density scale of things, early fourth density. And so what we're starting to see is some of our classic tools that were designed to work when we were in third dimension, may not be working as well anymore. So what the guides explained is certain people are now at a vibration where grounding into the earth is not necessary for them anymore. It may not be supportive of them. So what the guides have talked about is it may be time for an update to our grounding practices. So how do you know if this is you? Because for so many of the clients that I see, they are just diligently doing what they have been taught. So what I was finding for so many of my students is they were doing what they were taught, but it wasn't having the intended effect. It was not grounding their bodies. In fact, it was making them feel heavier. So what the guides have suggested is it may be time for new tools for certain people. Now, first things first, this is not for everyone. And this is not to say that our go-to tools of grounding into the earth aren't beneficial. For most people, that will continue to be how we recommend grounding your energy. I have done several videos on grounding your energy. So if you want some techniques for how to do that, if you want to understand the concept more, why it's so important, go back to some of my earlier videos because I lay it all out in detail and teach you how to actually do it. But what I wanted to release this new grounding video for was to help y'all figure out if you are one of these people who may need an update in your grounding tools. So if you are someone who, as you go to do your grounding meditation, and there are countless ones out there, if you notice that it doesn't feel good in your body, then you might want to just start asking the question. So I always encourage you, whenever you are exploring tools or techniques, to listen to your body. Your body is your connection to your higher self. It is the nexus point. And your body, and if you have watched my videos, you have heard me say this 100 times, your body will always give you the truth. It will tell you what is right for you. Even if you are like me, that 1 in a million person that it doesn't work for. That will always be me. So what you may want to start doing is just checking in with your intuition and seeing if the grounding you are doing is working. Is this stabilizing your body? Is this connecting you to a frequency that is helpful to you? Because it won't harm us to ground to earth. It is the classic for a reason. There are countless reasons that I could give you for why it is beneficial to ground the traditional way. But if you are one of the growing number of people that notice it's not working for you or that it actually feels bad to you. I have had so many of my students tell me They do not want to do it because it feels gross. So that is always what makes me start to ask the guides more questions about our traditional wisdom, because we are growing and expanding as a collective. Our vibration has risen so dramatically, even over the past 2 years, that we need new tools sometimes. So what the guides have been saying is that, yes, it may be time for certain people, especially people that have a lot of galactic energy and those that have really elevated their frequency quickly or over a period of time to a very high level, you may need new tools. So what the guides are suggesting, if the old technique is not working for you, is to try grounding into a higher vibrational body. And so for many people, a way to do this is grounding into the sun. Now, this is not for everyone. So always let your body tell you whether this works for you. Because one thing that's really important in this conversation is neither technique is better. Neither means that you're more advanced, more elite, better than anyone else. This is only a question of what is supportive of your body now. And this may not be the same answer you get in a month or 6 months. So what we want to do with our grounding techniques, because again, like the guides tell us all the time, this is so important, because we don't want to be resonating in training with our technology, which is what we tend to do if we are not properly grounded. Again, how many of us, we have that phone on us, we're sitting on the laptop, we're surrounded by these questionable technologies that we have everywhere. We do not want to be coming into resonance with our physical bodies with the technology around us. So our grounding is what helps us stay connected. So I have created a new video to help you figure out which category you fall in. So my new grounding video, just put it up on my website. So if you are interested in this and want to double check if your grounding technique is working for you, go grab my new free meditation. You can find it on my website at peytonenergetics.com. And you will see the link at the bottom of the screen that takes you to the meditation. So what this meditation does, this is something that the guides have suggested to help you figure out whether your old grounding tools are working for you. Because if they are, perfect, keep going the way you have always been taught, because there are so many benefits to grounding into the earth right now. I mean, it is our gold star technique for a reason. There are countless benefits to grounding into the earth. So that is not going to ever be a bad choice unless it doesn't resonate with your body. So the meditation that I just posted is going to take you through 2 grounding options. One is the traditional approach that most of us were taught. And I just walk you through it again, but coaching you to figure out how it's actually feeling in your body. Because something that we can fall into as humans is we do what we have been taught without really ever stopping to question whether it's working for us. So that was my goal with this meditation, was to help y'all evaluate which technique feels better to your body. So first off, I take you through the traditional gold standard grounding technique. This is what you have seen from all of your teachers and probably been taught by many of the people that you follow. And then I take you through a higher vibrational grounding technique of grounding to the sun. And the goal is just to see which one resonates more with your physical body, because your body is going to give you feedback. And again, neither one is superior. It doesn't mean you're more advanced if you prefer grounding to the sun. It doesn't mean that you're less advanced if you're grounding to the sun and don't like grounding into the earth. This is a very personal thing, and neither one is better, but we just want to figure out, because it is so important for us now to have tools that are tailored to you, to have ones that actually work for who you are vibrationally, which may not be who you were a year ago or even 6 months ago. That is how fast we are evolving as beings on this planet. So my goal with this meditation is just to help you guys evaluate whether your grounding technique is working for you. So make sure you grab that new grounding meditation. Once again, you'll find it on the website, and I will link it down below in the description for this video. And check this out if you have questions about whether your grounding is actually working for you, because if it's not, we have solutions for that. And that is something that the Pleiadians have been teaching my clients in my Starseed Mastery class lately, is new tools, upgraded tools. Because as they like to say, you are new humans. You are not who you were a year ago. And so our tools need to change to reflect that. So just check out the grounding video, the meditation, if you want to double check whether your tools are working optimally for you. And if they are, that's awesome. You got the answer. You've confirmed that what you're doing is still relevant and appropriate for you. And that's all we want. We want to make sure we're not wasting time with things that don't help us. Because I noticed that I was doing that, following all these tools that weren't actually working for me. So anyway, check out the new video and let me know which technique is resonating more with you. Again, neither one is better. All are good. It's just a question of what supports you. So I hope this helps you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.